Hello guys, sad video today. I'm not quitting yet, but I'm gonna voice my concerns about this game, uh, especially since the Odin leaderboard. I think I don't like playing this game. I don't enjoy it. I force myself to play it, and I just want to touch on some specific things that bother me and make it like a bit more universal, not just my experience, because some alliance mate agreed with me, so maybe this video will connect with you as well. So Odin leaderboard was horrible, and they do something similar now, more than a week leaderboard. I don't even know if it's 14 days, probably 14 days. I would know that. I'm not engaged with the game as much anymore to be 100% sure about this. It was horrible. It was a terrible experience. Let's show a screenshot one. That's where I finished. So yeah, I lost the diamond for Odin just barely. Spent 80 euros for that, which is about similar than dollars if you are from the States. Probably the same pricing, and usually spend this money in a month. And well, I didn't get anything in return. And it would be okay. Well, you say okay. You know that getting into a leaderboard that maybe you won't get what you want and other people will outspend you. But this in combination with the screw up that they did in the Intel Store, which they added those characters here for a while by mistake and people caught it, and then they sent back their cores, and the cores were part of the event and they gave them back. If I'm gonna waste 80 euros on a leaderboard on a game that it's just digital stuff, it's not something real, I want to be certain that it's fair, that it's 100%. The people that at least spent the most money got the stuff that they were promised. Losing by only 25 spots, I'm not certain if those 25 people, those 24, I don't know how many, 25 I guess, weren't benefited from that. It's likely. And generally speaking, besides like, okay, I'm annoyed because I wasted 80 euros for a diamond on Odin and I didn't get it. The whole way this was designed and after overpowered and stuff, it feels to me like they're selling out, like they're doing their last cash grab because they fear that the game is gonna fail. Maybe it's because of Mystic Mayhem that just got released. This was Collide, which is a game I'm playing, and I like more than Marvel Strike Force, and I'm gonna get into that. Not an advertisement for This Was Collide, although it will launch globally on 7th of July, which it's nice, and I have a channel on that, DC Watch Collide Alex, that you can find. Also, if you go on this channel page, if you like DC Watch Collide and want to have a beginner guide on or whatever playing since launch, it felt like they want to take the last money from the people that they have because they're not confident in the game. It was horribly designed. I'm not really certain, like, it feels bad to me to know that 5,000 people spend more than 80 euros in a mobile game auction. It doesn't feel good. I kind of don't believe it. And this in combination with their screw up and what they're doing with Overpowered. I hate Cosmic Crucible. I cannot play Cosmic Crucible. I despise it. I go in and I just waste my attacks just to get those here, like they play Cosmic Crucible battles. Because I cannot compete. I was like, I don't know, when Overpowered was introduced, like how much is it, 2 months ago, I was ranked 130 in Cosmic Crucible. Look where I'm ranked now. I dropped, and I don't even try because I can't. This, people have gear tier 20 over me, plus Xavier, plus overpowered. This is too much. It used to be like, there is a new progression path introduced. Let's say gear tier 20. People have an advantage over you from that, the 20% stat boost. Maybe they even have the level in some characters that they have on defense that you don't have yet. And they have a 20% of that, plus like another 20% on some characters on defense. This 40% give them some defensive victories in combination with having the newest characters and more stars and whatever. It used to be like that. And they unlock, for example, Super Scroll before you, and then they have Super Scroll for 3 months, and you cannot compete with the people that have Super Scroll or the Mephisto. You cannot compete with them, so maybe you spend a little bit more money to get, at least on the passes, if you're not spending on the leaderboards. You said I'm not buying passes, I haven't spent since on the leaderboard, and I don't want to. It's part of the problem with the spending system. You could spend here, they would have many, like the gear tier that was to unlock a Super Scroll. Then you get Super Scroll a little bit earlier than other people. You have the advantage over them, but you have Super Scroll, you can compete with other people. Other people still have like stars on your characters and unlock them earlier. They get diamonds before you. They have the more levels. They have all the T4s, even the basics. They have some advantage over you, but if you play smart and diligently, you can beat them in Cosmic Crucible. Then they introduced 2 mythic characters per year. So if you had like a 3 months disadvantage or 6 by having Super Scroll, but then you had 4 months where you were at the same footing as other people, or with only one, let's say they have ISO advantage over you only, and that on some characters. And then there's like a 2 months period where they introduce a new level, but not the gear, so you kinda can compete because you only have one disadvantage and you have only the gear. Then they release the character and you cannot compete for. It's like a rotation. For some months you cannot compete, for some months you can't. Maybe I'm butchering a little bit how the months were, how much you have the advantage or not. It depends on how much you spend, and I'm spending some money on the game, money that I would think is crazy before starting spending on it. I know in this games standards, it's a lot more. People spend a lot more money because there's like people of the United States. I'm from Greece. It's a higher if you buy a character offer. It's a higher percentage of the average salary in Greece. Even if I have a higher, even if I make 2-3 times the money of the average person in Greece, it feels bad spending that much money knowing other people is like a big percentage of their salary. But you had some months disadvantage, then some months on even footing, where I was even being like, I was, for example, top 30,000 in DCP, because I started the game 3.5 years after it was started. But I was top 500 in Cosmic Crucible because I was smarter, I was playing better than and even in Crucible is not even my best game mode. Like I'm a lot better in War, but you could compete in Crucible, and you beat the other 29,500 people because you play smarter. And you could argue that the other 500 people have all the characters and they are better. Because I'm not saying I'm the best or anything, but you could make the argument that the world still had an advantage over you and they won because of that, and you could actually compete very nicely. Then they started doing the Odin, where they did 2 mythic characters every year. So right after you get Mephisto, you have 1 month, then the people have Odin. Then you're losing again. Then they introduced Professor Xavier. So where you would have, let's say, like 4 months playing with Super Skull and even voting. Maybe it's not that close, or with Mephisto. Now you only have 1-2 months, because then they're introducing new mythic character in the same seat all over again. But okay, you could get Odin relatively recently. They did some screw-ups like with Illuminati and what they did, and always spenders have an advantage. But there were some windows where you could compete. And having like 1 to 2 progression systems, a disadvantage of having someone have an advantage over you, you can still compete to some degree. Having the overpower system over that, it's like made it impossible, basically. Like, I know you can argue like, okay, overpower, if you outspeed the other people, then you can beat them, and you play smart, and it still doesn't matter in all situations. And this was my experience in War in some degree, because I like War. I have, at the level I'm playing, I probably had invested more on my War defense teams than the opponents, because I like War. So I was kind of getting more defensive victories because of that. And I had my War offense teams leveled up, so I wasn't having a huge disadvantage over that. But even then, it felt like War teams like pre-Aris, like you had, even throw them now on defense, most of them. Like Gamma, like Weapon X, like Superior 6, like New Avengers. All of them lost half their value immediately with Overpower. Okay, it's my war defense teams and stuff. But having a combination of the 20% stats of Gear Tier 20 plus Overpower plus Xavier make it impossible for you to compete, and I don't even want to try. Maybe a little bit my problem in Crucible is it doesn't have a practice mode. I don't even know what I have on defense. I haven't touched them in a while, in a month, let's say. In War, you can talk with your alliance mates, then they can set the defense, you can practice, you can know how to beat some teams, and it allows you to gain more experience by practicing and then becoming better. In a Cosmic Crucible, you have to do your practice there, or you have to learn from other people, so you have to spend a lot of time watching on the creators. I don't hate that, but if you're busy at work, having to spend 1-2 hours a day playing the game and another 2 hours watching content creators to know the latest Cosmic Crucible counters, it's not really nice. I don't enjoy it too much. And I also prefer to learn by playing it, by doing a war practice attack, not by watching other people what they did in the Cosmic Crucible and trying to remember what they did, or have the video open and try to do exactly the same thing. It's not convenient for me. I don't like it. Or otherwise, you take the risk that you will try things out on offense, and you're gonna lose some matchups until you learn, and there's no way you can like outsmart the community. It's a lot more efficient to watch the latest videos and learn the latest counters from other people. Yes, you can do this to some degree, like being smart on offense or putting a defense, but you will lose more than you win if you adopt this strategy. It wasn't like a big turn off for me if I had like a relatively smaller disadvantage from people that spent more over me, but having the combination of overpower, 50% damage, plus 20% stats, plus the 20% of the levels, plus Professor Xavier, no, you cannot compete, and it's horrible. And just playing your best and then losing because someone had Xavier, or even because they had everyone at Gear Tier 20 and the newest characters like with diamonds, so that you have 3 stars, doesn't feel good. But now this has moved to War for me. Like, okay, I don't hate Professor Xavier and stuff in War, but a huge problem for me was this here, like the negatives on Harbingen. You have this for how many months now? 2 months. Like, we did that. It was fun. We played with a Vigilante. It was fun. It was a new team. We learned how to play with them. We had to mess around the ISOs. We had to reset some nodes. It was fun. Until we learned like defense down and stuff. It's good. You learn to play with a new team and you have some rewards that if you want to go in and take some more training modules and play like half an hour to gain a little bit of training module, it was very nice. But adding that on the Odin leaderboard, and it was horrible for me. Like, I did it 13 times out of the 14 days in the Odin leaderboard and I didn't get anything in return. It's like, I forced myself to play it so much, I hated it. It was so bad, and it created some problems with my job because I needed to play it very often. And I didn't get anything in return. And it's not the first time, like, leaderboard screwed me over and over again. Like, I lost in Shadow King's leaderboard, I was 501, ranked on a tie, I didn't get my reward, and I ended up with less red stars on Shadow King. Then the next leaderboard, then Xavier, which didn't even compete at all, I finished, I think, like 4,506 or something like this. So leaderboard screw you over. And it's okay if it's fair, but it's not fair, like losing on a tie or having Scopely giving for free the power cores to exploiters. This wasn't fair. I don't trust them. I think they screwed up something. I think 25 people probably did take advantage over that. And they don't care if I feel like their attitude was more like, okay, bad luck, bro. Spend more than 80 euros. No, spend 100 next time. Screw you. You only spend 80 euros. I don't want your money. If it's not 100 euro, I don't want it. That's what I feel like their response would be. Like, honestly, I feel like that's their attitude. But having this where you have to repeat this over and over and over again for a new leaderboard, and them having like 2 weeks now for 2 auctions feels horrible. Overpower, I think them not moving back in overpower. Honestly, in war, for example, I think overpower benefit more than I lose. But doing something that is gonna piss off 95 to 99% of the community, or at least like punish them, or like have them lose more, and having them feel horrible about this, I think it was very bad. I think it's very bad. And I don't appreciate it. Even if I benefit from overpower in war, I want it removed because more people don't like it than like it, and it's screwing me over in a Cosmic Crucible. Then you have Arena being stale, and like, I'm lazy to always do my Arena. It's very annoying to have the like. You have an arena you do all the time, you have this here, and you cannot throw a team and auto it. I don't like it. I hate it. So, some things are good in the game, like Danger Room is nice. The first time was a bit weird because you could get the rewards quickly, and here you don't have anything to push for. Now it was better, but I didn't force it. I just completed it today, and it was nice. This is nice. It's okay. You have to apply some strategy. I despise Cosmic Crucible, and I'm not doing as well in war anymore for a while. I don't know. I feel like they screwed me over. They like almost stole 80 euro from me because for the leaderboard that I was entitled to get the 1 diamond or nothing because I spent the money, and doing 13 times this here should get you a 1 diamond Odin. It's unfair otherwise. I don't like their support system. It feels like they're moving to AI. I know in my where in my work situation, I went to great lengths to improve customer support and hire people that are very capable of that. It's very much of a priority for me, and it feels like Scopely just want to throw it to AI or the cheapest workers, and the answers aren't satisfactory for someone that wasted 80 euros for a online auction. I feel like I should talk with a normal person and they should care more, but their attitude is more like, no, if you don't spend hundreds of euros, no, I don't care about you. Go somewhere else to spend this money, and I probably will. I'm playing this Worlds Collide. Follow my channel there if you are interested in the game. And honestly, I don't even like to log in too much in Marvel Strike Force anymore. I dread having to do this here. I just throw a team, put it on auto, and hope that they do something. But even then, I have to throw many teams, and they don't clear it, and it's annoying. I hate doing arena. There are some fun things in the game, as I said, like Danger Room and this here. Hope War, but even in War I'm not doing that great. Radius just seem like there's nothing that I'm excited to log into, but what is okay, but even this is kind of repetitive. Getting Xavier is a goal that maybe will give me something of an even footing Cosmic Crucible, but even then I'm kind of expecting them to release new Odin in 2 months. So I'm gonna take 1 month to get Xavier, and then I have 1 month that I'm gonna trying to be in an even footing, trying to balance over power and levels 105 and the gear tier 20 and having the new characters. And well, I feel like the wasted 80 euros for me. At minimum, I'm not spending 80 euros that I would, in battle pass and stuff, and this just makes it worse because you cannot compete. And why would I buy this? I'm gonna get the 6-star. I don't like Cosmic Crucible. He has no value in War for me. I have them in the SAR that they're gonna sim rates and be a little bit of value in other game modes. I don't think there will be more. Maybe Fantastic Four will revamp the game. Also, I wasted all my power cores in for Odin leaderboards and did get nothing in return. So it felt very much like they tried to burn down their bridges to they suck in the most money that they can before Mystic Mayhem is released, because then they will stop existing. That's what it feels like to me. They're just cashing out. Hope that's not the case. Hope they make new stuff. Hope the excitement builds again. Hope I start logging into the game, having something fun to do, and be able to compete in War and Cosmic Crucible. And this comes from someone that was willing to spend 80 euros in a leaderboard. So it's not I cannot even fathom how worse it would be for someone that doesn't spend money at all in the game. So that's my 2 cents, my worries about the game and how I feel about it now. Hope to do better. Bye.